everyone, IvyLeeGaming here, and today we're playing Honkai Star Rail. Today we're going to talk about how the combat system works in this game. Alright, so I am here on the closed beta. I just want to note that at the beginning of the video, in case it does vary slightly for global launch, things like a character's skills could be adjusted, or I mean a lot could be adjusted, but it doesn't sound like there should be any major changes as far as this goes, so you should be safe. But if you see anything just slightly different, just know this is the beta, but I think it's still going to be very helpful even if there are some adjustments. So we're going to have a little bit of a look at how the skills work, how entering a battle works, and just a couple quick tips to make it be most efficient for you. So we're here with our girl Serval. This is the character you're actually going to get for free thanks to pre-registration, and she's one of my favorites. So I'm really glad that that's the case. But before we actually go into a battle, I'm going to go ahead and look at her skills. We're going to talk about that. So we have different skills here. You have a basic attack. Like this will say if it's single target or like a blast hit is AoE. So like she has a single target basic skill. And then we have our skill, which is the one we can use once we have enough skill points added up, which are shared, and I'll show that soon. We have our ultimate, which builds up based on our energy bar, which you'll see as well. And then techniques are how you can enter the battle or what you can do before a battle. And it may buff your champions, it may heal them, or it could enter the battle with a nice advantage. So let's read hers. Immediately attacks the enemy. After entering the battle, deals lightning damage equal to 50% of Serval's attack to a random enemy. And all enemies have a 100% chance to be shocked for 3 turns. While shocked, enemies will take lightning damage over time equal to 50% of Serval's attack at the beginning of each turn. So guys, for real, we're getting a great AoE damage dealer for free. I know people are kind of obsessed with the idea of rerolling, which I will sort of do a guide on, I guess, too, but I don't think you're gonna need to, because you can get through the whole story with the characters they give you or the 4-star characters. Although I'm sure super endgame content's gonna get harder, or if you're 100% free to play, I understand some people have the mentality of starting off with a 5-star. And we do get some free tickets, so if you registered with multiple accounts for pre-registration, you can at least log into all your accounts and see what your best options are. But don't worry, we have Serval for free, and she's a beast. One of my favorite people to have on my team, and I think it's a really good start to have. Let's see, we also have her talent here, which is like her passive. So after Serval attacks, deals additional lightning damage equal to 39% of Serval's attack to all shocked all shocked enemies. Okay. So I'm not going to worry about going into all the other details. There's ways to improve your character, many ways. Obviously, we have light cones, which are, kind of add to a skill and are sort of like a weapon. We also have relics, which are also kind of like weapons in most games, and add sets and stats and so all sorts of stuffs. Traces add to your actual skills, and some of your stats as well. And Idiolons are your dupes of your character that make them better. That's the TLDR. That's as far as we're going to get right now. We want to talk about combat. So, what you see down here is the, this part with letter B. That is actually normally T, or sorry, what is it normally? E? I think it's defaulted to E. I changed my default because I kept accidentally hitting it when trying to navigate. I think it was E. And I would hit my WASD running around the world and accidentally kept wasting my techniques because I would hit E instead of W because my fingers weren't in the right place. So personally, I moved it to B, just the idea of B for battle. Going into the battle with B. That's kind of where I did, but it does default as E's. So if you're seeing that and you're confused, that's why. That is our technique. That is going to be the entry. Let me just quickly look at someone else to give you an example. There's so many different, like, he's a good example of a different style of a technique. So you can go into a battle. After using it, when the next battle begins, applies a shield to all allies. So, and the shields are based on his defense. This is her brother, Japard. So he buffs people before, and then when you go into the battle, you have that buff. When our Trailblazer is on her other, not the preservation, when she is destruction, her talent is a heal. Like, there's actually a lot of fun. I also love Pela's talent. You can go into a battle with, or sorry, I keep calling them talents. Techniques, oh my gosh. Techniques. Her technique, upon entering the battle, she'll deal an AoE damage and decrease defense. So going in to the battle with an AoE defense down sounds pretty strong to me. It's one of my favorites. So you can actually combine. Like, if we want to put, let me just do this. There we go. We want to take advantage of all these wonderful skills that can stack. So let's say we want Japard to, we're going to use Japard, we're hitting there, and we're going to use his technique to buff everybody. And then Serval's going to be the one that enters a battle. So we're going to grab these purple containers. Those fill up our technique bar. Sorry, I was calling them talents. Now let me go find someone to attack. Hopefully I can find someone with a weakness for lightning. If not, I'll switch it. Alright, let's see. Do we have a weakness for lightning anywhere? Let's go, let's go. Oh, it's fire. Of course it is. What's okay? Let me switch to... Actually, it's my Trailblazer. It's okay. It's my Trailblazer. Does she have one that we can use? No, she buffs herself. So let's go in, and this is what you could... Luckily, you can change, right? You could see what the enemy's going to be, and you can adjust for it. So I'm going to go ahead... We use Japard. I don't think I can... If I take him out, I don't think... Wait. This is the test. If we take out Japard, even though he already buffed our champions, are we still buffed? No, we lose that buff. See? So we don't want to do that. That's actually bad. But there you go. There's the test, right? But at least you could see what I mean. When you go into the battle, you'd get the shield with Japard. And then you could go ahead in and use another skill to enter the battle with a distance, a ranged technique use. And boom, we went into the battle and they're pretty much dead, right? That's pretty awesome. So, okay, we're in a battle. At the top here is the speed, which also affects the regular hits and their animations. Then there's the button for auto, and then you could also pause. When you're paused, you can adjust your settings, which is nice. Then down here in the corner behind me, there is the C button, which is information. This is really great because you can see the stats of your enemy, all the details of their skills, and what status is currently on them. Like right now, he's burnt because we entered the battle with them burnt. You could see all of that and what buffs and debuffs are on them. You could even click those. It's super helpful for information. And of course, you can see the stats of all your characters, which also allow you to see which light cone you're using in case you forgot about if there's something you want to take advantage of, or if you just forgot the skill details and you want to read them all quickly here instead of trying to long press them during the battle. It's just a nice way to kind of refresh yourself and get familiar with your champions. So, I mean, this is going to be over as soon as it began, but we have E. This is, again, if you hold down and long press. Oh wait, I'm blocking it. If you hold down and long press here, it pops up, see? That's really helpful. If I pulled away, it didn't use it. Single target, same thing. Holding down, long pressing it, didn't use it. So this is also our ultimate. You can see she has her ultimate. If you use it, it just goes. You can't undo it. I haven't found a way to cancel it anyway. So she's also got a thing that stacks and charges with her kit. So then you could, if someone has a kit that has something that has to get stacks or charges, you can see those stacks down here right above it. See for Asta? She has 4 stacks. And then same thing like the Trailblazer behind me, she has up to 8 stacks for one of her skills, and that's reflected down there. The main bar is their health, the blue bar. If they have a shield, it's glowing white around it. And then the ultimate, you can use that ultimates at any time. So let's say, pretend we came into the battle needing to heal. Okay, Asta's not fully healed. So let's go ahead and use her ultimate.
Just in time.
See, I can't find a way to cancel. You can space to cast, but I can't, like if I hit escape, you can't cancel it. So I think once you decide you're using an ultimate, you're committed.
Just a little something. Think
which is
nothing
fine.
of it.
Saving me won't earn you any favors.
So there, we healed. Using our ultimate, you can cut in. So depending on your ultimate, you could really take advantage of like placing a proper debuff that you want to at the right time, or if someone is just, I mean, obviously Natasha and her healing ultimate is going to be one you use quite frequently. And then yeah, simple. This is the actual skill. And then our second battle here, the basic skill is a single target. So when you go into the battle here, we always have the affinity, the element at the top. You need to break their toughness and put them under the condition of weakness in order to do more damage. When they have the bar at the top, this white bar above these champions here, the enemies, you are actually going to do a lot less damage. So if you go into battles with nothing of the proper the proper strong element against the enemy, you're going to have a really long battle and it can be really frustrating. So because Asta is perfect for this, she's going to AoE and knock out all of those. And then even the others can do more damage, even if they're not quite the best affinity for this. See? Oh, that's a random. It hit 5 random targets, was it? She has an AoE blast, but she's not strong element against any of these, but that's okay. Also, we have, if we want to change the course of the battle here, like Asta has an increased speed, so that can really influence some battles, of course, as well. So boom, we just popped this. Let's go ahead.
Oh, stars, give these trailblazers your blessing.
Let's give everybody a buff, not that we need it. Alright, but yeah. Shock, so now see people are under that damage over time skill. What is Z? Oh yeah, Z also brings us here as well. So C and Z. Z brings us straight to the enemies, C brings us straight to your characters. That's something easy, but you could switch in between either way. But that's pretty much it. It's like you want to go in and attack with the correct element to break the shield. Once the shield is down, that's when you want to use all your ultimates. So if you have someone, like if I have Sorval in here, and she's not the right element, it's probably better to wait until their bar is down and they're under the state of weakness here. As you can see, this guy's under the state of weakness. So he's just kind of chilling.
Nap time.
It's time.
See, we broke and we added a bleed. So a lot of characters have special skills that all involve when you cause the enemy to weakness, when you break that toughness barrier. So that's something to keep a look at. Like someone like Himiko is a good example. When an ally breaks someone's toughness barrier and applies weakness, she goes in for an extra attack. So that's really cool. I really like that. But this is a defensive skill, so she's going to do it on herself. You can see that she's selected. But there's so much fun you can do. And a lot of the things like freezing and electric, the shock, are a damage over time as well. I really like that.
This song's for you.
Alright, I wanted to pause here. You see that 4 and now 5? Every time you use your basic attack, it charges up so you can use skill points. All the skill points are shared between all of the characters. So don't go wasting your skill, like that E command. Don't go wasting that on someone who's not going to help the battle if you're low on skill points. Also, the ultimates recharge just by engaging in battle, like you getting attacked or you attacking enemies. Yeah, battle over. This is a very easy area. So one thing regarding the difficulty of your enemies for battles that I should point out is it's based on your Trailblazer equilibrium. Okay. So equilibrium is the difficulty of the enemies in the world. So as you get closer to a milestone, like I'm 38, 39, I should be smashing most of the enemies that were in the earlier stages of the worlds I'm fighting especially. But what happens is when you get to the next level, like when I get to 40, 50, 60, and then 65, you have to then clear the next level of equilibrium before you can upgrade a lot of your skills, talents, and all sorts of stuff. So the equilibrium will increase as your Trailblazer level increases as well. Which is good because then you could just pop around the map. I mean, what fun would be if you could just one-shot literally everything on every map just because you progressed and the rest of the environment didn't. So that's kind of how that works and how the enemy's difficulty is affected in battle. But yeah, it's... The only other thing I didn't really show is getting ambushed. It's kind of like if you don't attack, then they will attack you. So let me let myself get ambushed, see? They're gonna go ahead and get that first hit on you. And that could be huge. So be really careful not to get ambushed.
You?
Even if it means you're accidentally going in with the wrong affinity,
Who
it's
will it
fine.
be?
Just take the battle. Don't get ambushed.
Lance, forward!
So we're going ahead, boom. We're just full autoing because this is super simple. But at least you can full auto most things.
Nap time.
The only thing is like special bosses you cannot full auto, like when you're going through the story. Important story moments you can't always, but yeah, it's really fun. It's a nice system and I love a turn-based game where you can take the time and actually analyze everything and get a feel for it. And if it's too intimidating and you can't remember everybody's skills, it's fine. You can just pause, hit that info button for your characters, read their skills in the middle of the battle and not feel stressed out because you can't remember what you're doing early on. But hope this video was helpful. I'm looking forward to posting a lot of Honkai Star Rail content and looking forward to the global release. Or this is, I don't know when this will be posted, before or after. Either way, it's been fun. I'll see you in the next video.
Huh?